Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers Channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive developments surrounding Willow Tate and the dangerous path she's embarking upon following her shocking acquittal. The courtroom drama that captivated Port Charles has taken an even darker turn, and the question on everyone's mind is simple yet terrifying: who will be Willow's next victim? The verdict that set Willow Tate free from the charges of shooting Drew Kane sent shockwaves through the entire Port Charles community. For weeks, residents watched as the evidence-mounted testimonies were delivered and the legal battle reached its crescendo. When the jury foreman stood and declared those two magical words "not guilty," Willow's supporters erupted in celebration while her detractors sat in stunned silence. The relief on Willow's face was palpable, the weight of potential imprisonment lifting from her shoulders in an instant. She had gambled everything on this trial, and Lady Justice had smiled upon her. But what happened next revealed a side of Willow that nobody could have predicted. Rather than expressing gratitude for her freedom or showing remorse for the chaos that had engulfed so many lives, Willow demonstrated a disturbing lack of restraint. Within mere minutes of walking out of that courtroom as a free woman, she made another attempt on Drew's life. This wasn't a crime of passion or a momentary lapse in judgment. This was calculated, deliberate, and utterly chilling. The woman who had just convinced 12 jurors of her innocence proved them wrong before they'd even left the building. This pattern of behavior suggests something far more sinister than a one-time act of desperation. Willow has discovered something intoxicating about taking matters into her own hands, about wielding power over life and death. The adrenaline, the control, the satisfaction of eliminating obstacles, it's become part of her DNA now. Once someone crosses that threshold, once they've attempted to take a life and face no consequences, the psychological barrier that prevents most people from such actions crumbles completely. Willow has tasted this forbidden fruit, and she's developed an appetite for it. Michael Corinthos, the ex-husband in the crosshairs. Michael Corinthos stands as the most obvious candidate for Willow's next violent outburst, and for good reason. This isn't just about a failed marriage or hurt feelings. This is about a man who declared war on the mother of his children by seeking full custody. Michael's decision to pursue sole guardianship wasn't just a legal maneuver. It was a direct assault on Willow's identity as a mother, on everything she holds sacred. He essentially told the world that she was unfit, dangerous, incapable of caring for the children she brought into this world. That kind of betrayal cuts deeper than any knife ever could. The custody battle transformed their relationship from one of love and partnership to open warfare. Every court appearance, every deposition, every piece of evidence presented was another dagger to Willow's heart. Michael painted a picture of an unstable woman, someone whose judgment couldn't be trusted, whose presence posed a threat to their innocent children. While Michael may have believed he was acting in the kids' best interests, Willow experienced it as the ultimate violation of trust from someone who once promised to stand by her through everything. However, Michael's relationship with Jacinda Bracken adds an entirely new dimension to Willow's potential rage. It's one thing for Michael to move on romantically. Willow might even accept that their romantic chapter has closed. But Michael's insistence on integrating Jacinda into their children's lives crosses a line that Willow refuses to tolerate. The thought of this woman from such a questionable background, sitting at the dinner table with her babies, reading them bedtime stories, attending their school functions, it makes Willow's blood boil with maternal fury. What infuriates Willow most isn't jealousy over Michael's affections. She's moved far beyond caring about his romantic entanglements. What drives her to the edge is the principle of it all. These are her children, her flesh and blood, and she should have absolute say over who gains access to them. Michael's cavalier attitude about exposing their kids to someone he barely knows demonstrates the exact lack of judgment that Willow believes, makes him unfit to make parental decisions. The irony isn't lost on anyone. Michael sought custody claiming Willow was dangerous. Yet he's the one bringing questionable characters into their children's orbit. Still, killing Michael presents complications that even Willow must consider. He's a Corinthos, and that name carries weight in Port Charles. Michael's father Sonny commands an empire built on loyalty and retribution. Taking out Michael would unleash forces that even Willow in her current state of reckless confidence might not be prepared to face. Additionally, removing Michael from the equation could backfire spectacularly without him in the picture. The courts might view her even less favorably regarding custody arrangements. Jacinda Bracken, the interloper who ignited Willow's rage. If anyone has painted a target on their own back, it's Jacinda Bracken. This woman represents everything Willow despises: an outsider attempting to insert herself into the sacred space of Willow's family unit. Jacinda's very presence in Michael's life serves as a constant reminder of how far things have deteriorated, how completely the life Willow once knew has unraveled. Every smile Jacinda shares with the children, every casual touch exchanged with Michael, every domestic moment she participates in feels like theft to Willow. This woman is stealing the life that Willow built, the future she envisioned, and replacing it with her own cheaper imitation. What makes Jacinda particularly vulnerable is her checkered past. She's worked as an escort, a fact that gives Willow's rage a righteous veneer. Willow can tell herself that she's not acting out of jealousy or spite, she's protecting her innocent children from corruption. In Willow's twisted logic, eliminating Jacinda isn't murder, it's maternal protection taken to its ultimate conclusion. She's removing a threat, safeguarding her babies from someone whose moral compass she fundamentally questions. Jacinda's recent attempts at redemption make her situation even more precarious. She's genuinely trying to leave her past behind to build something real with Michael, to prove that people can change. Michael has become her champion, standing by her even when she accidentally destroyed his alibi during crucial testimony. His loyalty to Jacinda demonstrates a level of commitment that must drive Willow absolutely insane. The man who abandoned their marriage at the first sign of trouble now displays unwavering devotion to someone he's known for a fraction of the time. That kind of double standard would make anyone see red, let alone someone in Willow's volatile mental state. The ice cream dates the board game nights. The cozy domestic scenes that Jacinda has been participating in with Michael and the children, these ordinary moments have become extraordinary provocations to Willow. She watches from the outside as this woman plays house with her family, and each observation fuels her growing obsession. Jacinda has inadvertently positioned herself as the physical embodiment of everything Willow has lost, making her an irresistible target. From a practical standpoint, Jacinda also represents the easiest target among Willow's potential victims. She lacks the family connections that protect Michael, doesn't have the resources that Nina possesses, and frankly, fewer people would immediately suspect Willow if something happened to her. An escort with a dangerous past meets with foul play law enforcement might initially look in entirely different directions. This cold calculation probably isn't lost on Willow as she contemplates her next move. The tragic irony is that Jacinda might actually need to return to her old life to stay alive. The safer, more legitimate existence she's building with Michael could be the very thing that gets her killed. If she fled back to the shadows, back to the anonymous existence of her former profession, Willow might lose interest. But as long as Jacinda remains in plain sight playing mother to children who aren't hers, she's walking around with a metaphorical bullseye on her back. Nina Reeves, the mother who knows too much. Nina Reeves finds herself in perhaps the most complex and dangerous position of all three potential targets. As Willow's biological mother Nina should theoretically be safe from harm, surely Willow wouldn't commit matricide, would she? But recent events suggest that family bonds mean nothing to Willow when they conflict with her goals or threaten her secrets. Nina's danger stems not from anything she's done, but from what she knows and what she's observed. Nina possesses intimate knowledge of Willow's true feelings about Drew Kane. She knows that Willow harbored intense animosity toward the man, that their relationship was far more complicated than the grief-stricken facade Willow now presents to the world. So when Willow suddenly appeared at the hospital, tears streaming down her face, sobbing uncontrollably about Drew's tragic mishap, Nina's suspicions were immediately aroused. The performance was too theatrical, too perfect, too convenient. Nina's maternal instincts, the same instincts that drove her to find Willow in the first place, are now screaming that something is deeply wrong with her daughter. The real danger lies in Nina's inability to simply look the other way. Unlike others who might be satisfied with Willow's acquittal and eager to move forward, Nina can't unsee what she's seen or unknow what she knows. Her mother's intuition tells her that Willow is responsible for the attacks on Drew, and eventually that knowledge will demand action. Nina faces an impossible choice: protect her daughter by remaining silent, or protect potential future victims by speaking up. Either choice leads to devastating consequences. What makes this situation particularly volatile is that Nina and Willow's relationship has always been fraught with tension. They've had years of conflict, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings before even discovering their biological connection. Willow has never fully embraced Nina, as her mother never granted her the unconditional trust that typically exists between parent and child. In Willow's current state, Viewing Nina as an obstacle to eliminate rather than a mother to cherish wouldn't require as dramatic a mental leap as one might hope. Nina's investigation into Willow's behavior puts her directly in harm's way. If she starts asking too many questions, digging too deeply into inconsistencies, or even just watches Willow too closely, she'll confirm her suspicions and Willow will recognize the threat. The moment Willow realizes that Nina has connected the dots, that she's figured out the truth, Nina's life expectancy drops dramatically. Willow has already demonstrated that she's willing to silence anyone who stands between her and freedom. Why would her biological mother be any different? Adding to the danger is the timing of potential exposure. With Drew out of the picture, either recovering from his injuries or potentially eliminated entirely from Willow's path, custody arrangements are in flux. This is precisely the moment when Willow believes she can reclaim access to her children, re-establish herself as a fit mother, and rebuild her life on her terms. Anyone who threatens to derail this plan, even her own mother, becomes expendable. Nina's knowledge isn't just inconvenient, it's an existential threat to Willow's entire future. The psychological profile of a suburban assassin. What we're witnessing with Willow Tate is the emergence of something truly frightening, a woman who views violence as a viable solution to life's problems. She's not a professional criminal, not someone raised in an environment where such actions were normalized. She's a seemingly ordinary woman, a mother, someone who once represented domestic stability and maternal devotion. Her transformation into what some are calling